What a main event. What a war. What a show. If you are not pumped up for WrestleMania now, there is something wrong with you. Elimination Chamber was peak. That was unreal. Then Raw, we had Iyo Sky winning the belt. That was a great show. Then SmackDown last week, we had Cody dropping a promo written by the gods themselves. And then today, that fucking match. Oh my God. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. You know what that means. It was unbelievable. So let's recap what happened today or yesterday on Raw. So we started off with Jey Uso. He had a match against the Aussie guy, Grayson Waller, and his little bitch, Austin Theory, came along with him. Now, I am a pretty big Grayson Waller fan. I've got to be honest with you. I think he might be the South Hemisphere's Miz. He's pretty good in the ring. He has bags of personality. He's kind of a dick. I'm into it. Austin Theory, I don't hate Austin Theory. But A-Town Down, if that isn't the most irrelevant tag team in wrestling right now, I don't know what is. They need to nip that shit in the bud. Like, let's move on with our lives. Let's get over that. Let's move on to bigger, better things for both of them. So they ended up with a match against Jey. Reasonable match. Grayson Waller did some pretty cool things. There was this moment where Jey went for a suicide dive up through the ropes, and Grayson Waller caught him and did a sort of like stunner against the ropes, which was decent. Then he dove through, leapt through the ropes into a roll, and then hit his finisher. It was a really cool moment, to be fair to him. But then Jey obviously kicked out of it. He won the match with the ugliest spear in the world. I love Jey Uso. I hate his spear. It just looks so fucking shit. Like, that is poor. And he's decent in the ring. Let us start campaign here today. After WrestleMania, at WrestleMania, we need a new finisher for Jey Uso. What ideas do you have? Pop them in the comments. It cannot be that spear. He's got the frog splash. He's got the super kick. What else should Jey Uso be doing as his finisher? I've not had too much of a think about it yet, but I know there must be bigger, better things out there for him. But Jey Uso is so over right now. It is unreal. It is incredible. Like, the reaction he gets when he comes out from what he was before, where he was at, he is so loved now. So he won the match, and then Austin Theory decided to get involved. Grayson Waller got back in. Jey put the beat down on both of them, like you'd expect. And then just when he was celebrating, Gunther put Jey to sleep. Now, I think Gunther was in a bit of a rut leading into this during the start of this rivalry. I was just over him, really. I wanted him to drop the title quite a while before, but they've done a good job. He's back. He's big. He's bad. He's mean. He's beating up people left, right, and center. But I just think there's 39 days today until WrestleMania. How long can this rivalry go on for? Like, if their match was on Saturday, you'd be like, yeah, sure, like, we're ready for it. It's all built up. What is there left for these guys to do? It seems like we're getting the same segment week in, week out. One of them has a match, the other one attacks them. One of them has a match, the other one attacks them. I'm done with it. I've got to be honest. What I think WWE need to do is give them a couple of weeks off. Let Gunther, when they go over to Europe next week, let Gunther stay for a week. He can go yodeling. He can go skiing. He can go and watch RB Salzburg, like whatever Austrian people do. I'm not too sure. But he can do that. Have Jey not go to Europe. Give them 2 weeks where they're not fighting each other. They can do promos. One of them can pop up on the screen for a little bit, maybe. But let's just let them batter someone each. 1 week, they just smash someone. That's all they need. Let's move on. I'm done. So then after that, we had Logan Paul come down to the ring. That guy, he's not a heel. He's just a dick. Like, he's not in character. You know what I mean? People hate him. And I think maybe for good reason too. The way he gets the crowd going is pretty incredible. So he was giving his promo. Apparently AJ Styles was going to call him out, but Logan Paul doesn't get called out. So Logan Paul came down. He spoke shit. He said that Cena made the right decision, taking The Rock's offer. And then he offered his services up to The Rock as well. It was a bit desperate, but there we go. And then he started talking about how all the celebrities were rolling into town to see Logan Paul. And Andrew Schultz was there. So he hopped over out of the ring to Schultzy and said to Schultz, like, get him a microphone. Why is he here? And he obviously said, I'm here to see Seth and Punk, which we all are. Logan dragged him out, pulled him into the ring, was about to smash him, and AJ Styles ran down to the ring, saved Andrew Schultz, and did the phenomenal forearm to Logan Paul. So there's a couple of different directions we could be going here, I think. I think if those two had a singles match at WrestleMania, I'd be pretty happy with that. I think Logan Paul's pretty good in the ring. Like, his match is obviously pretty scripted, but he's decent in the ring. And I think AJ Styles could really get the best out of him. Someone with that sort of style of wrestling and that experience, he could really make Logan Paul look good. And likewise, AJ Styles coming to the end of his career, it would be nice for him to get a match that big. Whether you like Logan Paul or not, Logan Paul draws eyes. He is a star, not a wrestling star. He is a star. Like, people come and watch Logan Paul. So for AJ Styles to get a bit of that rub, I'd be really happy with that. But I think the other way this might go is I could see them getting drawn into this Intercontinental Championship match. I think AJ Styles has had a little bit of a run-in with Bron Breakker already. Logan Paul hasn't yet because he's been more in that main event scene leading up to Elimination Chamber. But I could see both of them getting pulled into that match, which could be good. Like WrestleMania, you quite often have these lower belts having multi-man matches competing for them. And then also, I think, so later on that show, Finn Balor was moaning about Bron Breakker, the IC Intercontinental Champion, and saying he's had enough of him. And then Dirty Dom, love Dirty Dom, showed up and said, oh, I've arranged for you to have a match with Bron Breakker so you can get revenge on him, which, as you can imagine, went down really well. Finn put on a bit of a front, but he's pissed, man. He is pissed. So we're going to have those. And we're maybe going to have Logan and AJ, maybe Sheamus as well involved. And obviously I don't want Logan Paul winning the belt at the moment. Like, he can win a belt again at some point, but not that one, not right now. I'd be really happy if Bron Breakker kept the belt. He's solid. That would be sweet. But who I really want to win the belt, bear with me, right? He's not in the picture yet. But it has to be Dirty Dom, right? He can go from having been in prison where he's not allowed to wear a belt to now being the Intercontinental Champion and wearing that belt. He would have his and her belts with Liv Morgan, as well as his and her Rolexes. It makes sense. You know it. I know it. We all want Dirty Dom Mysterio to be the champion. He can have a belt and his daddy can't. It just, imagine how unbearable he would be being a champion as well. Like, that would be TV gold. The crowd would go nuts. They would be furious. We need Dirty Dom to win that belt. He deserves the bling. I will be screaming, you deserve it, when Dirty Dom is the IC champion. So while that segment with Logan Paul was going on, I was thinking, like, is wrestling mainstream now? Like, is it a big thing? we have a lot of celebrity appearances there. Obviously, like Netflix and the UFC company TKO have a big part to do with that. We had Macaulay Culkin there last night as well. And with my friends, like, they're starting to like admit that they watch wrestling. I didn't shut up about it the whole time. Like, I'll be wearing my Rock t-shirt loud and proud wherever I go. But they're starting to watch it and they're starting to talk about it. And then we have that Cena segment at Elimination Chamber where he went heel, which was everywhere. Like, you couldn't escape it, right? I mean, my mum knows that John Cena turned heel. And I didn't mention it to her because she does not want to hear me talk about wrestling for 4 hours every week. I see her. But my mum knew John Cena is heel now. I think we might be cool, guys. I think there's going to be more of us coming. So hold tight, be patient, people. We're going to be cool again one day. So then we had New Day versus LWO, or as Pat McAfee said, the New Day. And he said something which could not be more accurate. These are terrible people. The New Day suck, man, don't they? Let's get it straight. The New Day suck. So LWO, it was the good ones from LWO, though, not the rubbish tag team. It was Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio. The match was cool. At one point, it was a tornado tag match. I said last week on my show, I'm really glad they're starting to introduce these weirder, more obscure, old school matches. I don't think I've seen a tornado tag match for 20 years. So I was pleased with that. It turned out they're DQ. That wasn't explained to us beforehand, but LWO started looking for tables. It was quite funny. They were looking under the ring for weapons. Who knew? They're not under the ring all the time. I thought they were always like just trash cans, kendo sticks, fire extinguishers. Nope. They looked under the ring and the ring was empty. So they came around to the front, found the table, pulled it out. New Day, being the heels that they are, put the table back. But then it wasn't really a factor throughout the whole match. So the crowd were pumped when they pulled the table out. And then the crowd really sort of fell a bit flat. And I'm not surprised. I was so pumped for that match. And it was just, meh, okay. At one point, Dragon Lee did like an arm drag onto Xavier Wood out of the ring. And Wood sort of like gently brushed the table. And the table collapsed in half. And that was all we got. And then they were all fighting out by the announce table. Then a masked assailant wearing a luchador mask, but it was an American flag one, ran out from the crowd and I think did like a Hurricane Rana onto Rey Mysterio and then did a paused German suplex onto Dragon Lee, which looked sweet. I really enjoyed that. And Michael Cole was adamant it was Chad Gable, but we're not so sure. And then the security came, the American Luchador ran away. New Day got, I think, Dragon Lee back into the ring, did a double team, won the match. It was cool. Fair enough. I would be very happy with this rivalry being over with now. Like, LWO just don't do it for me. New Day, I want New Day to go for the War Machines, have a match with War Machines, probably night one, WrestleMania, or early in day 2 card, win the belts, and just be despicable human beings. There's talk of, I can't remember his name right now, but the guy who joined for like a week and then got sacked because of domestic abuse allegations. He's cleared now. It seems like that was a whole drama that didn't happen. So he might be coming back. That would be cool. I'd be happy for him to screw over the War Raiders at WrestleMania. And then we can have a new era of nasty New Day with the belts. Xavier Woods was born to be a heel, I think. He would be a bad, bad man with that belt. So then later on, Chad Gable was interviewed about whether he was the American Luchador with an American-made stitching on the front. And he was adamant he wasn't. And we were like, yeah, sure, whatever, mate. Of course it weren't you. But he criticized security, rightly so. And then we saw an assailant getting dragged away wearing the luchador mask. So what's going on there? Interesting. At the time when it all kicked off during the tag match, I was like, oh, this feels weak. I was really into Chad Gable going to Mexico. I wanted more scenes of him in some like dusty, sandy ring getting thrown about, and I would have dragged it out for a few more weeks. But it's. I think this is going to be a good story. I could see this being a bit like a modern. What was Hulk Hogan called? Mr. America, and he had to do the lie detector test. I would be happy with that story being repeated. Chad Gable will commit, and he will sell any story you give him. So here's hoping we get a cracking American Luchador tale. Could be on Netflix as its own series, in my opinion. So what do we have next? So Cody came out later on that night and cut another promo. He did a good job generating a bit more heat for Cena, I think. He mentioned how he was there in America and John Cena wasn't. Imagine. He must hate his country. But he's going to be in Europe. Europe get John Cena, but New York City don't. What the hell, John Cena? But Cody's going to be in Europe too. So we're going to get a face-off next week on Raw. I'm looking forward to that. That should be fire. We had the crowd seemed to be a little bit split as I thought they would be. Like some of us older cats out there. We're hardcore, established. We love John Cena. We wanted Cena to be healed for 20 years, and we got it now. But then, so there was, we want Cena. Cena sucks. And let's go Cena. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. And definitely the Cena sucks bit was louder, but it was torn. Like this is going to be a good rivalry. There's going to be whilst obviously Cena is the bad guy, I've got a feeling we could get a lot of Cena love during this. And then Cody ended his promo saying Cena is not getting the 17th title, and Cody is the captain now. I'm the captain now, he declared. Again, like Cody's promos, he gets me so fired up. Like, I want to get an American Nightmare tattoo on my neck, even though I'm not American, and I would walk around with that loud and proud. Also, when Cody came out, there was a nice little touch, I thought, where when it was, oh, where he grabbed his ear and really sold that beatdown that he took at the hands of John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott, who Travis Scott is quietly going about becoming the biggest heel in the WWE. He's talking smack to everyone now. He doesn't care. He's fired up. He's revved up and ready to go. He's all gas and no brakes. He's selling merchandise. He's got a Wrestling is Real shirt. He's offering it out to Bully Ray. I don't think that would go Travis Scott's way, but he's up for it, man. He's not backing down. So I'm Travis Scott. Let's see what happens with that. Maybe we could have Bully Ray putting Travis Scott through a table at Mania. Because Bully Ray, although he's TNA, he's about now. He's on the scene, you know. He's one of the LFG coaches or mentors, whatever they're called. Bully Ray, we're going to see him knocking about here and there. And I could very easily see this being a work angle where we're going to have Bully Ray and Travis Scott going head-to-head at some point, whether it's in that match, earlier in the night, whatever it is. Because we all want tables. Let's be real, right? We want tables. We want celebrities going through tables or women going through tables. Those are the two categories that we don't get enough of. Is Mae Young still alive? Maybe not Mae Young, but let's start putting women through tables again as well. Those were the good days. So then later on, we had a number one contender match for the Intercontinental Championship. Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley. Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom were at ringside. Honestly, I didn't really care about that match. It was like, I was thinking afterwards, there should have been a promo at the very least of either Bayley or ideally Raquel Rodriguez, try and pump her up a little bit more, talking about how much she deserved and wanted to be Intercontinental Champion. Bayley did have a little segment, but it didn't really like lead into that match necessarily. So it seemed just like a bit of an afterthought match just thrown together. Dom and Liv vaguely interfered, but not that much, to be fair. What happened was Bailey ended up outside. Raquel Rodriguez, who is getting smoother and smoother in the ring, I think. I think a couple of years' time, she could be a really, really good wrestler. She slammed Bailey onto the table, dragged her back in, did her finisher, 1, 2, 3. A relatively clean win, to be honest. But during that whole match, I was just looking at Liv, really. Like, now that's partly because of Liv and me. She doesn't know it yet, but we've got a thing going on. And it was partly because the match was just flat, to be honest. But before the match, I hope you saw Dirty Dom took Liv shopping. They bought Rolexes, so they've got his and her Rolexes now. I love the little social media bits of those two. They're selling this couple way harder than Rhea and Dom ever did. And it's obviously a different dynamic, but I think those two are so good together. I'm really keen on that. I would keep them together for. I can't see why you'd pull them apart, to be honest with you. Let's have the marriage. Maybe we won't go as far as Lita and Edge having their sex celebration, but if they did, I wouldn't be too upset about it. Like, let's bring back some of the crazy, like Big Show getting tranquilized, Snitsky kicking babies. We don't want it 24/7 in wrestling, but a little bit of that ludicrous, it goes a long way for me. Maybe I'm old school. So later on, we had what's her name? Iyo Sky came down and she started cutting a pretty short promo, and crowd going, "You deserve it, you deserve it." I really like Iyo Sky. She is bad to the bone, similar to Chelsea Green. If you want to watch, if you've got like a minute, maybe 3 minutes, go onto Instagram and search Iyo Sky versus Penta. It's another woman Penta was beating up in Lucha Underground. And it is crazy again. Like, it is nuts. But Iyo Sky's cool as anything. So Iyo Sky came down, got her flowers. Then Bianca Belair came down. It was like her promos. I'm always a bit like, okay then. But I think she might be going heel, which I much prefer Bianca Belair heel than face. Face, she is a dull woman. But as a heel, she's got a bit about her. So here's hoping. Then she was talking about how, like, she was not really, she just wanted the belt, basically. Rhea came down. Those two started going at it with each other. Iyo was just sort of awkwardly stood by the edge while they were really like shouting at each other. Then Iyo tried to get involved, and Rhea, rude fucking bitch she is, put her hand in Iyo Sky's face and shoved her down. I was like, the fucking audacity of this bitch. Iyo Sky got back up. She strolled back over, and then Bianca Belair done it again. And I was speechless. I was offended for Iyo Sky myself. I could not believe, like, who would do such a thing? It was disgusting. Like, I was like, you rude pair of bitches. And that's why I could not be happier with what happened next. Iyo Sky stood back up, squared up to Rhea, and smacked the shit out of her. Bang! Like, Rhea looked shocked. I think she got all of that. And then Bianca Belair was sort of stunned. Iyo turned. Bang! Slapped the taste out of Bianca Belair's mouth and walked off. You better put some respect on my name, she was saying. You're not going to be mugging me off. I'm the champion. I deserve to be there. And she is right. She is a bad bitch, and I am glad for it. It looks like we're going to have a triple threat with these three. I think it'll be sick. Like, I'm not the biggest Belair fan, like, as a character, but her wrestling's cool. Rhea's obviously a monster. She is loved at the moment as well. The reaction she is getting is off the charts. And Iyo Sky is just cool as anything. She is bad in the ring. She is a bad person. She is just I really hope she's not like a transition champ. I want her to have a good few months of a run at the very least with that belt because she deserves it. I would like her to keep it for a while, have a bit of a mix up of some of the women, hopefully. I think Nia Jax might be a Raw. I can't even keep track, but have a little bit of a mix up with some of the women, and Iyo can. Well, we've got a few more to come back as well, haven't we? Let's see how that goes. So then we get to the main event. Oh, baby. I needed a cigarette after that one. So leading up to it, they did a nice package, just sort of showing their history, really building it up. We could see like the Royal Rumble footage of Punk chucking him out, their hatred in general. It was like, it's palpable how they feel about each other in real life. We had Seth stomping CM Punk in the Elimination Chamber, even though Seth was already out. And then that brawl that we had on Raw last week where CM Punk dropped a fire promo leading up to it. Like that was, I was charged. And then the fight that ensued after was pretty crazy. The hatred on CM Punk's face as they got pulled apart was real, man. So I really like those two going at it. So when CM Punk came out, I think he might be like the biggest face in the company right now. Like everyone loves him. He's doing everything. He's down at NXT helping out. He's doing all the dates. He's saying all the right things. He's a big deal. He's a big time player. Any criticism that people have had of CM Punk, I think it must be over right now. Like what a guy he is. So their match, the first 5 minutes was just a brawl. They were knocking 7 shades of shit out of each other. Like, for real. Just bash, 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 bash. Relentless. Just laying it out on each other. And then eventually they had a little bit of a over here. CM Punk got the go to sleep. Nothing. Didn't care. They couldn't give a shit. They're not there to... They didn't want to escape. They wanted to kill each other during this match. And it was crazy. Like, they were just going at each other. Must have been 5 go to sleeps, 4 stomps, something like that. Just blow after blow after blow. At one point, CM Punk delivered 1 diving elbow, 2 diving elbows, 3 diving elbows. And then he climbed up to the top of the cage. He was about to go for 1 more diving elbow. He had no interest of getting out of that cage. Like, the only way people were getting out of that cage was on a stretcher as far as both of them were concerned. But Seth Rollins scampered up the cage and they're trading blows. CM Punk stood on the top. Seth Rollins swiped out his leg. CM Punk's legs split on the cage. I don't think AJ Lee wants kids with him, but it's a good job, right? And they were just going at each other. Eventually, Seth dragged CM Punk over the cage, delivered a superplex off the top of the turnbuckle. It was a nice moment. But again, they just couldn't care less about getting out. Like, they just wanted each other's blood. It was crazy. But during the match, there was one moment where Seth was screaming at Punk, and Punk gave him the middle finger. We saw it for like a split second, and then they cut to a black screen. And then Seth did it back as well later on, black screen again. And I don't know whether the WWE are trying to confuse me or whether they're having an identity crisis. Because one moment we've got middle fingers, the next moment they're hiding it. One moment we've got blood, next moment they're muting the audience who are screaming, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Then we've got CM Punk telling The Rock to go fuck himself. Then in this match, we had holy shit, but then they'd cut the audience because I think they were screaming it the whole night. If you were there, let me know. But I think they were just screaming it the whole match, sorry. And where are we, WWE? Let me know. Do I expect this more adult content? Or are we going soft? Or are you just trying to confuse me? Because if that's the case, you're doing a damn good job I don't know where I am with all of this, but yeah, just let me know. You don't have to make it public. Just hit me up, all right? So their match was crazy. I think CM Punk delivered 4 go to sleeps and didn't get the pinfall in all of that. CM Punk stomped Seth Rollins, couldn't get the 3. Rollins gave a stomp, couldn't get the 3, gave a go to sleep, and then a stomp to Punk, couldn't get the 3. They were just going at it, and then then Rollins, climbed up the turnbuckle and did a super stomp on CM Punk, and I think there might be a little CM Punk dent in the ring floor right now. And then he didn't go for the pin, and he didn't try and crawl out the cage. He just chilled in the corner of the ring, feeling pretty pleased with himself. He got dragged out by none other than your tribal chief. And then Rollins' look of shock on his face was brilliant. He looked terrified. Reigns looked livid. And then Superman punch, spear. But that wasn't all. Your tribal chief was not finished. Your tribal chief stomped Seth Rollins on the outside of the ring. Again, your tribal chief was not finished. He looked like he wanted to murder Seth Rollins. Like, this looked real. He dragged him over to the steps. He held his face down on the steel steps and he screamed at him, "Bite the steel! I'm going to end it all for you." And I thought he was going to kill him. You know, Step Brothers, I thought he was really going to do it. But the producers ran down. They pulled him apart. They saved Seth Rollins' life as far as I'm concerned. And then Reigns looked up at the ring. What does he see? He sees his wise man, Paul Heyman, cradling a broken and battered CM Punk. And the look on Reigns' face, it broke him. He laughed like a maniac. He stormed into that ring, threw CM Punk into the cage. As he bounced off, bang! Speared him. For the record, Jey Uso, that is how you do a spear. He broke him in half and then strutted around that ring like he was going to take a piss in the corner. And he powered past Paul Heyman, who looked terrified. We know your tribal chief is back. He is badder than ever. He is going to fuck shit up. What is going to happen in that will it be a main event? It has to be night 1 main event at the very least, right? Triple threat. CM Punk, maybe the most over man in the business. Seth Rollins, becoming a maniac of a heel. And Roman Reigns, the longest title holder in the modern era of the WWE. Your tribal chief, the bloodline, it's going to be fire. Fighting for the soul. Excuse the Rock reference there. I didn't mean to do that. Fighting for the soul of Paul Heyman. If you're not excited for WrestleMania, wrestling isn't for you. You're not welcome. We don't want you here. You can go and watch AEW. You can go and watch your local wrestling. You can go and watch EastEnders. We don't want you watching the WWE with us. And with that is the end of the show. Now, if you want to be a little bit less Otis and a little bit more Braun Breaker, if you want to go to sleep at night like you've been hit by the GTS by CM Punk, if you just want to be a little bit healthier so you can adhere to the WWE wellness policy, I am also a health coach. I would love to work with you. Scan that little QR code in the corner, take you to my website. We can have a chat. We can see what's going on. But with all that, all gas, no brakes, we're here for SmackDown. Let's go.